I've been waiting for the world to spin my way. I've been waiting for a glance at the sun. And I've been waiting for the world to spin my way. I've been waiting for a chance, and
Lydia Baker is a certified life coach, poet, health advocate, and community volunteer. But most of all, Lydia is a servant of God, desiring first and foremost to walk out the call of God on her life. Her passion for honest and real relevant talk runs deep. Lydia believes that effective communication is the key component that sets us free from many self-imposed prisons. She isn't afraid to touch the tough topics from an angle of dignity and respond while standing on God's word, and always coming from a place of love. Now, let's join Real Talk with Lydia Baker.
I'm not sure. Okay, there. I'm not sure. I guess you guys didn't hear me. But the moment we were back in May and June, look, May 28th, flatline, flatline with COVID. And then as the mask mandates were removed, look at how the numbers of COVID began to go up. Look at the numbers. And look now. Look, that was the 27th. Um, I'm not gonna get into whether you mask or not mask, your business. Whether you vaccine or not vaccine, your business. But nevertheless, here we are now with the threat level. Harris County COVID-19 level. The Harris County COVID level. The governor is now encouraging the unvaccinated to stay at home. But how do we do that in work? How do we do that? How do you do that in work if you're unvaccinated and or you have some medical conditions? I don't know if the microphone was on, so I definitely, before I get going on my tangent, I want to make sure that I put the scripture up again. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that whoever believes in him should not perish, but have an everlasting life. And I said that because there's so many people. I was speaking to a friend. There's so many people right now battling depression because of outside circumstances, losing jobs, underemployed. That means they're not making enough to pay their bills, unemployment, evictions are back on now. Evictions were blocked. They're not blocked anymore. So you can be evicted. So a record number of people are rushing to try to find places to live because they didn't have money or they chose not to. Listen, just let me tell you, a lot of people chose not to pay their rent, even with the stimulus. Yeah, happened. So right now there is a big move to find adequate housing, affordable housing for people right now. So again, I want to show you the COVID numbers as they begin to climb. Look at May. Look at May and June, how we were flat. And now Harris County. Look at the numbers. Look at the numbers. Oh my gosh. I had the opportunity to go down to the medical center the other day. And they have now, the Texas Medical Center, if you're in the Texas area, the Texas Medical Center is letting one person per day in to visit. And so some hospitals, you have to be on the person's visitors list. And someone sent me a text message and said that higher ups in hospitals are soon going to require you to show your vaccine card in order to visit your loved one. Some businesses are now requiring employees to show their vaccination card in order to come to work. I know that some people from CNN were actually fired because they refused to get their vaccination. But today, Judge Hidalgo, we are at a severe COVID-19 level. The Harris County Emergency Management has confirmed that the COVID-19 threat level has been upgraded to red as of today. Judge Hidalgo confirmed the status in a press conference today, and she said, "Today, we find ourselves in a difficult situation. We find ourselves retracing our steps towards the edge of a cliff. It is very conceivable that we could once again be heading towards a public health catastrophe. Once again, our health system is strained by COVID-19. It's straining the staff, it's straining the hospitals, and it is imposing a heartbreaking and anxiety on many, many families in Harris County." Okay. She went on to say that COVID-19 is no longer a disease for older population because the average person being admitted to the hospital 20 years or younger. She said on average, the admitted patients on average were in their 40s, with people in their 20s and 30s also among the very impacted population. We can say what we want, but just personally, I believe it was because the 20-somethings ran out unmasked, unvaccinated, and now we are facing as the judge said, we are facing being about to fall off a cliff with COVID again. And I remember a nurse, this nurse isn't a friend of mine, someone sent me the video. A nurse said, unequivocally, I put my nurse's license on the fact that by September and October, masses will die, masses. And I looked at that video, this was several months ago, and I looked at that video and I was like, wow, that's pretty steep for a nurse to say that. But you guys, it is looking like we are heading for that again. Hey, Miss Craig. Hey, beautiful. Thank you. Wake up, people. It's real. I know I got a email from someone, a friend of a friend, who she tweeted out the threat level and put it up again because people just don't believe it. She tweeted out this very picture, and one of her friends responded, whatever. You know, if you've never been able to breathe, it might be whatever to you. If you've never watched a loved one die from this, it might be whatever. But when I tell you it's vicious, it's brutal to watch somebody you love die from this disease. It is awful. It's awful. It's awful. I remember that day not being able to breathe. I remember it. And I remember looking around my room thinking, oh my God, am I dying? I remember playing things through my mind. Okay, do I have things in place? Did I tell my son last time I spoke with him, I love him? Did I tell my husband I love him? Have I told all of my family I love them? That was what, not one red bottom, not one purse, not one necklace, not a pair of earrings, not a wig, nothing. I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. Is my house in order? My spiritual house and my natural house. You all, this disease ain't no joke. I'm telling you, it ain't no joke. You better wake up. Hey, good afternoon, Miss Mayfield. Hey, beautiful. Where's my beautiful Nevela? Oh, that girl is so pretty. Good. Amen. Amen. Listen, I'm about to show you guys some video. I'm going to tell you before I show it that it is pretty graphic video. It's graphic video before I put it up. If you ever had a loved one die and couldn't be there, oh my God, sister, I couldn't be there with him. I couldn't be there. I couldn't be there with him. I couldn't be there. I couldn't be there. I couldn't. I prayed for him and I sent the word. But God prepared me to say, I'll see you later to my loved one. But people, Lord have mercy, all these wives' tales. Listen. Oh my God. Hey, beautiful. Oh, I see your new Facebook picture. You laying back, Miss Evans. I see you. She said hello. Oh, I love her too. She said hello. I love her. I love that beautiful lady. I love her. My God. Yes, ma'am, Miss Shanita. We know what it's like. We know it's not a joke. It's not a joke. I couldn't be there either, and I'm still grieving. Sis, a part of me still grieves because I tested positive and I had symptoms, and I know my loved ones had to be worse. And he died by himself, not with us there. And I know he knew we loved him because the last time we spoke with him, I was shouting through the phone. They let us video conference him. I love you. I love you. And he was shaking his head and opened his eyes. So, man, people, y'all better wake up. this video, before I do that video, I want to show you guys what a pastor said. A pastor said, a Nashville pastor. Nashville pastor. I'm pulling up because I want to get his name right. Okay. Pastor Greg Locke of Nashville Church. He's repeatedly called COVID a hoax. A hoax. A hoax. It's terrible. Oh my God, it is. Yes. Okay. He's called it a hoax. So in defiance, he took his hoax belief a step further. Here's what the pastor of a congregation said.
Don't believe this Delta variant nonsense. Stop it. Stop it. I know right-wing watching. I don't care. If they go through round 2 and you start showing up all these masks and all this nonsense, I'll ask you to leave. I will ask you to leave. I am not playing these Democrat games up in this church. If you want a social distance, go to First Baptist Church, but don't come to this one. I'm done with it. I said I'm done with it. I ain't playing these stupid games.
That's a pastor of a rather comfortable church, Global Vision Bible Church. He goes on for 5 minutes about it is a Democrat demagogue and it's not real. 44% of Tennesseans have received at least 1 dose of the vaccine, according to reports. That state recently reported that 98% of people who died of COVID, 97% of the COVID hospitalizations were among the unvaccinated. A pastor told his congregation that. A pastor. God knows you cannot handle all death. Amen. Amen. What? Tell me more, Pam. Tell me more what you mean. Wow. Yeah. Wow. I know, right, Shanita and right, Miss Reynolds, a pastor. That's a pastor. It is sad. It is sad. He said, in case you just jumped on, the pastor said, you cannot, don't start showing up here to the church with masks. Well, I go to a church not very far from my home. Beautiful congregation. I love it. They know that I social distance. I go to the congregation. I sit off by myself. I worship. My husband and I wear our mask. And if they ask me to leave, I always joke, I will get up, get my Bible, get my purse, let that purse slide down in the bend of this arm and go home because I'm going to wear my mask. I'm going to wear it. Vaccinated or not, I'm going to wear a mask. I have a lot of sanitizer. I have wipes. I have Clorox wipes. And by the way, if I can just put out to some people, have you noticed they are limiting supplies? Word to the wise. Don't freak out, but maybe go buy you some more. Go buy you some more supplies, some Clorox, some Lysol, some water, canned goods, just to be safe, because this is Harris County's level. I don't know what Dallas is. I didn't pull that up, and I don't know what other areas are because I didn't pull that up. But what I am going to tell you is today, Harris County is now in the red. I had to go down to the medical center and visit someone because of my job. I was able to get in. But many of those hospitals, well, first of all, they're very crowded. The emergency rooms are just crowded with people, sick people, RSV, and that's a respiratory infection, and very young people, sick with COVID, high fevers, 104, 105. It's really bad. It's really bad. So sad. We need to pray for everybody who thinks like him. You know, you remember back The bracelet used to say WWJD. I wonder what would Jesus do? I mean, what? And they can't make it a law for people to wear masks. They can't make it a law, or can they? I think we would. I'm sure they can, but I'm not a lawyer. I didn't look that up. But I think there would be so many lawsuits of people fighting to wear the mask that it would be crazy. You all saw it when became a mandate. Listen, if you don't want to get a vaccine, that's fine. You don't want to wear a mask, at least wear it for the other people so that people can still keep their jobs. What about the restaurant people? What about people of fast food? Do it so we can at least keep some normalcy in our lives. President will have to. He'll have to what? Make a law. I think it has to go through Congress. He can't just write. I know he can't just do that. Excuse me, guys. I gotta adjust my chair, my back. I know he can't just make a blanket law because states are independent and they can just like counties. That's why when Judge Hidalgo tried to make it mandatory and you get a fine in Harris County, Governor of Texas came on and Abbott said, nobody. I don't know if you guys saw that video. If you didn't, look it up. He came on immediately after her. I personally think he was trying to humiliate her. Instead of writing police reform, you worried about everything else. You could use some time while you're sitting still and do a police reform and maybe a police registry, Governor. Love you. God bless you. Anyway, he came on and said that no one has the right. He didn't call out Hidalgo by name, but he was publicly humiliating her, that no one has the right to fine anybody for not wearing a mask. But here's the deal with me. When do your rights interfere with my rights? And why are your rights more important than my rights not to wear a mask and possibly make me sick or infect me? And children, I don't know if you look it up. If you think I'm lying, I don't have time to get all the data I have for sure. Children are now dying because you know why? Adults going to work, going to office, pick it up. They're fine. They're non-symptomatic. They're asymptomatic. Take it home and give it to the children. And the children then become symptomatic. It's just crazy. It's crazy. I was trying to see somebody's posting a comment. Anyway, we got to do better, folks. We got to do better. I'm getting ready to show you a video, and I'm going to tell you before I show it. The video is graphic, and there is some language that is graphic in the video. I tried to edit what I could. I'm going to again tell you, if you have young people listening to the show today, I'm going to take a sip of water. You might not want them to watch because there is some expletives in this video. What you say, Pam? You could be so close you wouldn't not be able to back up and let them go through a peaceful transition. Yes, ma'am. You're right. You're right. I honestly believe that's why my mother, God allowed her to transition and we were not with her and she just went to sleep. Yeah, I really do believe that. So again, I'm going to take a sip of water. You want to get the kids out the room. My favorite water. This video is graphic and it's out of Forney. A woman has been accused of assaulting a public servant during an incident. The woman's relatives have called it a case of police brutality. Miss Ray, 41, was arrested after a Kaufman County Sheriff deputy restrained her 18-year-old daughter as the teenager walked through a Forney neighborhood. The video is graphic and some of the words are expletives. So I just want to tell you guys that. Here's the video.
No, you back up. Do not touch me. Back up. Back up.
Just calm down. Calm down. Hold on.
You can talk to her.
Okay, but you can get up. You don't have to
No,
do it like
she's
this.
trying to jump in front of
No,
her.
she's not. Please,
Kaya, just calm down. Kaya, calm down. Kaya, calm down.
Just calm down, okay? Calm
Just
down.
let her get up,
No,
please.
you don't have to sit on her like that.
Kaya, calm down. Kaya, just calm down.
Okay, just calm down.
Just breathe, Kaya.
Calm
Just
down.
breathe.
I got her, please. She's what? Y'all is on her. Where y'all doing? 102 degrees out here. I can't breathe. She cannot breathe.
She's
sir.
spitting up.
You don't even fucking care. What did you do? No. She hasn't done anything. No.
We'll turn her over if y'all
Okay.
back up.
But what are you gonna turn her over for and cuff her? She has not done anything. Please let her go.
She's literally just walking.
Bro, it's pissing me off. She cannot shut up. Bro, stop. Okay. Look at her, man. Okay, listen. Okay.
If we can restrain her, we'll stand her up and she's fine, okay?
Okay, Mama, I was telling you.
Okay.
Stop.
Okay, well, let us get her restrained and safe. Everybody will
Literally foaming from her mouth. She is literally foaming from her mouth. And
Okay,
he's
can you
sitting on
just
top of
let her
her.
up? Why does she need handcuffs? Wait, she didn't
We
do
got
anything.
her. If she's running in front of traffic.
She's not.
Okay. That because I stopped it there, guys, because the profanity gets really rough after that. The young lady, the police officers arrived and they spoke with the woman. The mother was arrested. She was booked into the Kaufman County Jail on charges of assault of a public servant and interference with public duties. She has since been released on bond. The family is saying that the deputy could have handled that differently. The young lady was taken to a hospital for a mental evaluation. There was saying that the child was walking in front of traffic. The family says she was not. I know officers have to do their job, and I respect them, but just the way he was, I don't know if he could have restrained her better, but it was just so graphic the way he had that child down like that. And I mean, you have people, and it's not a race thing. You had people of other races asking that officer to get up or to at least not straddle that child like that. Oh my God. Oh my God. Do you have the 911 callers calling in saying she was trying to throw herself in front of the vehicle? Yes, I did read that. That she was trying to walk in front of a car. The family says she was not. I did have that information that she was walking out into traffic and said that she was suicidal. But here's the thing, beautiful Miss Cunningham Hubbard. Here's the thing. There's a mental health team, and I think we need to help officers deal with mental illness a little different. And I'm going to tell you this because I know this firsthand working in the 9 to 5 that I do. There's a way, and it has to come from specialists who are well-versed and handle people with mental health. Holding her down like that is not going to help regulate that situation for anybody involved. But that has to come through some training. It has to come through some training. I don't think that maybe the officer was trying to necessarily kill her or like get on her neck or choke her to death. I just think that they aren't trained. In this instant, I really believe he's not trained. I would have been fighting him if that was my child. I probably would have too, but the child was having reportedly, supposedly, allegedly having some type of mental illness. But just to see a grown man laying on my baby girl like that, oh my goodness, I don't know. I got a boy, I got a male. He's a man. Excuse me, sir, he's a man. And I don't know that I could stand to see somebody straddle my son like that, let alone my daughter. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That was so disrespectful. That was she a threat to anyone else? You see, the thing is that the allegations is that the child was walking in traffic trying to harm herself. But I think I would have much rather maybe him tase her or, and I know people would have said, well, he tased the child, but at least he wouldn't have had to straddle her like that, on top of her like that. I don't know. Yeah, he didn't handle the situation properly at all. Could have let her mom get her and take her to a hospital by ambulance. Or, you know what, you guys, I don't know if you've heard of this. There's this new thing. Harris County, hi, Harris County, can we get these? Some good folks, our tax dollars might buy a couple. They're called the WRAP. They're called the WRAP. Okay. And there are some police agencies and law enforcement and mental health officials who have this thing called the WRAP. It's not like a taser. Well, wait a minute. It looks like a taser, but it shoots out. It shoots out. It's like something out of cartoons or Batman. And it's like a net, and it literally wraps them. They fall, but they're unable to get out of it. And so I don't know if anybody's watching and you have some pull with the Harris County Police Department, Harris County Sheriffs and Montgomery County Sheriffs and Forney PD, maybe for mental health cases. And this is what this was reported to be, a mental health case. Okay. So prayerfully, the child is getting some help, and so is everyone else. But okay, y'all. All right, another video. Listen, you might need to move the kids out the room again. Whew. Okay. I'm giving you a chance. Let me take a sip of water. Move the children, because this next video is not nice either. It's graphic as well, but I'm giving a precursor, a disclaimer. This video is graphic, and it may cause trigger some people, or cause some kind of feeling. And I'm not laughing at the video. I'm laughing at what I'm about to tell you. So take the kids out the room. Here is video from a recent funeral. Okay. This is video at the funeral. See the casket in the back? Yep. They're having lap dances at the funeral. Yep. Yep. That's all. I can't. That's all I could. That's all. Why would you have a lap dance at a funeral? Why would you do that? Yes, that's why I only put up a few seconds, because the entire video is so graphic at a funeral. I mean, and it's like people sitting in, it's an outdoor funeral. It's during COVID, because you notice the mask. And this was sent to me and said, I've preached funerals before. I've ministered. Let me put it like this. I've ministered at funerals before. And they asked me, what would I do if I were ministering at a funeral and they brought out the strippers? Okay. My comment to them and my comment to anyone else is, I would not be at that funeral. I would not be at that funeral. If that's what the family is going to do, and the family has allowed that, and I guess now next time I do a funeral, minister at a funeral, I'm going to have to ask the folks to see the program beforehand, because if they got strippers on the program, I can't be a part of that funeral. I can't do it. I can't do it. I cannot. I don't know. Okay, y'all. Okay. Well, yeah, I just was blown away by that. I literally was blown away by Why would you do that? Why would you do that? What did maybe I don't understand. Maybe I just don't understand. Maybe it's me not understanding that there is no way. I was trying to see, maybe they thought maybe of a praise dance, but that is not a praise dance, because they go, if I showed the whole video, they go into the audience and get chairs, and then they get men. This is at the funeral in front of the casket. My God, where was that? I know, right? I know. They go get 2 chairs. They go into the audience. There's I guess like family sitting behind them. And they go into the audience out at the sides. The video is pretty long. I think the person sent it to me in different sections because it was so long. So they go out into the audience, which is like out like this, right? They go and they get 2 men. After the chairs are set up, they sit the men in the chairs at the funeral, and then they start to give the men lap dances. But before the lap dance to the men, they did they like pose by themselves. Was it a request of the dead person? Here's the deal. It don't matter if it was a request of the dead person. That person is deceased. Well, excuse me. I don't know if that was fair. That's not my business to say. It doesn't matter. I don't know if it was a request of the dead person to have lap dances at their funeral, but Miss Cunningham Hubbard, would you have permitted that even if it was your loved one, if that was the dead person's request? What? Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Who died? Well, Miss Evans, what you missed is, and I'm not going to play that video again, but what you missed is maybe there was a funeral, and at the funeral services, there were lap dances performed at the funeral service. And yeah. And so, yeah. I don't know if it was a request of the dead person. I have no idea. So would you, Miss Evans, would you have permitted it if the dead person had requested it? She's saying what? Yes. Yes. So would you have permitted the stripper, or I don't know if they were strippers, excuse me, I don't know if those ladies were strippers. Would you have permitted lap dances at the funeral during this? Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. The video I got said it was during the services, and said that it didn't tell me if it was a request of the deceased or departed. It didn't tell me that. Praising who? Girl, I don't know. Only if lawyers demanded me to. I never thought of it like that. I never thought if it had to be, if a lawyer could make you. But how could a lawyer make you? Because once the person is deceased, unless they had a will and you had to do things in the will, and maybe the attorney had, no, I would not permit that. I don't think I would either. It's a no for me. Yeah, I don't know that, here's what I just thought. Suppose it was a will, and the will said in order for them to get their inheritance, they had to let that happen at the funeral. That's the only way I would do it, because you're dead. What you gonna do to me? I'm not doing that. I go into Big Mama, Momo, Madea kind of. What? Or the universal, as someone said, the universal face that African Americans make when they hear something crazy. No, not doing it. Not happening over here. People last request a will, maybe. It could be their last request, and if the will, well. If I were the executor of the estate, it would be a no for me. I just wouldn't do it. They're dead. What they gonna do to me? And if it was in order for me to get the money that they had left for me, because see, everything for me, my morality is not for sale. And for me, that's a moral issue. So I wouldn't do it. They could have done virtual, a virtual strip, a virtual lap dance, Miss Evans. Is that what you're saying? That wasn't respectful at all. I know. What about the people who didn't want to see that? What about that? That was got to me. That's what got to me. That's I want to tell you guys about wait a minute, I got another comment. Yes, yeah. I want to tell you guys about, you've heard of people who like literally live off the grid, right? Well, for almost 3 decades, 31 years, for 30 years, this 81-year-old man, David Lidstone, had lived in the woods of New Hampshire along the Merrimack River in a small cabin that had solar panels. He grew his own food. He cut his own firework. He tended to his own pets, and he had chickens. He produced his own lifestyle. But his off-the-grid existence came to a screeching halt by a court, by the property owner who says he's been squatting all those years. And to make matters worse, they burned down his cabin to the ground. Somebody did. Lidstone, or River Dave, as he's been known by the boaters and kayakers, was jailed on a civil contempt sanction. He was told that he'd be released if he'd leave the cabin, but he has stayed put in jail. Oh, he said, "You came with your guns, you arrested me, brought me in here, you've got all my possessions, so guess what?" He told the judge, "You can just keep me. I'll sit here in the uniform and rot." I'm sorry. Wait a minute. Wait. Now, I'm not laughing at the man. I'm laughing at the feistiness of an old person. Let's see. Maybe that's how he died. The lap dance? They should have a separate room. For the lap dances, Miss Evans, are you talking about they should have had a separate room in his will? Well, maybe he or she did leave it in their will, but I don't know. Oh, a separate room to do but the funeral was outside. A private room. I see you saying a private room to do the lap dances. Yeah, but the funeral I don't know if you saw the video, and I'm not playing it again. But the funeral was outside, so maybe that's why. But I'm sad about this elderly man, because you guys, I love the yeah. But I love this old man. I love seniors. And I wanted to tell you, I'm going to put his picture up again. He's accused of squatting for 27 years on private property in a cabin, in a small little cabin. He had a kitchen. Pots was hanging from his ceiling. He had some appliances and curtains on the windows. His porch had a footstool with a base made of stacked beer cans. He converted a wood stove into a beehive. He had attached lights and a mirror and a pulley for a clothesline to logs supporting the cabin. There were piles and piles of firewood, and somebody burned it down. I'm sad about that, but the funny part is what he told the judge. They said, "Well, you can go home, or you can be released from jail if you promise not to do it anymore." He said, "No, y'all got me for good. I'm here for good. I'm never going anywhere." Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, you didn't see it. Girl, you're going to have to go back and look at the replay. I can't put that up again. It's the God-fearing show. If he'd been there all that time, why would you do this now? I don't know. That's sad. Love it. I know it is sad. And I don't know why. Well, maybe I think the property owner discovered his cabin. Now, I went to Hawaii one time, and if you can live off the land for X amount of years in Hawaii, I think you don't have to pay taxes. So if you can prove that you're not gonna work and receive, do anything, and you're gonna live like it. A lot of people really go to Hawaii, live like in the woods because it's so comfortable, so warm, so beautiful, and they just they don't ever pay taxes after that. I learned that on one of my excursions, and so you see one of the people taking us around said a lot of people actually come from different places and live in Hawaii for the weather, and they just squat because it's so beautiful and things are so plentiful there. No, it's very expensive. It's very expensive there. Yeah, it is sad. It's sad, but after almost 30 years, the property owners I don't know. I can't say why. Where was the harm? I don't know. Especially after 27 years. Maybe the original owner passed and they knew he was there, and it went to children. And as a seasoned saint say, these young folks ain't about that life. They ain't really about giving people stuff free. So maybe they had approached him and he didn't want to pay rent. But it really touched my heart because I love seniors for real. My grandmother was very instrumental in my life. My mother had me later in life, and so I'm very partial to seniors. OT. I don't know what that means, Pam. You have to retype that. But the point is, I was just really, the story is sad because now they took his whole life. I mean, everything he owned was in there, everything, and somebody burned it down. It's the blaze is being, I'm reading my notes, the blaze continues to be investigated, but yeah, everything he owned burned down. So he's like 81, right? Thank goodness, 70. Thank God he's lived a long life. But for 27 of those years, he lived in that cabin. So basically everything he owned and has was in the cabin. Where is he going? Bless his heart. Okay, I want to tell you guys, Governor Cuomo is in a bit of trouble. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo office is exploring deeply the important questions involving problems of sexual harassment and a toxic workplace. Here's the thing. The reason I'm reading this, and I want to say this, these were grown women who didn't say anything, and the governor, who's a powerful man, reportedly, allegedly sexually harassing them. These are grown women. One of them said he rubbed her chest, breast area. Another one, he kissed her hand and her face, and one of them, he tried to kiss her on the mouth, things of that nature. And they didn't say anything for quite some time. So what do you think about how you think children going to get the gumption to say something? I hear quite often people questioning children, saying that the child is lying, not believing the child. And I that's part of the reason why I'm doing this story is if grown women are not believed, grown women, these women are not believed. And I don't know if the governor did it. I don't know if he did it. I don't know. But these are grown women who are afraid or uncomfortable or uneasy about coming forward. So how do you think children can come forward? I hear stories of people not believing children or blaming children or saying, what did you do, or did you do it? And I had a video of a young girl. Oh my gosh. She must have been about 10 or 11. And she had the mindset, her mother's male friend was touching her inappropriately. And the little girl had the mindset to record him on her phone. So I just want to encourage you mothers, aunts, uncles, dads, best friends, confidants. Protect our children, boys and girls. Protect our children. They need us. They need us. They need us so bad. Again, if these grown women took years and years to come forward, what do you think about children? You can't bring everybody around your child. You can't. You cannot bring everybody around your child. And yes, young men get affected as well. Look at the Catholic priest and the years and years and decades of abuse that occurred. Please be careful with your children. Please teach them they can trust you and tell you. And if you happen to be a child and you're watching this show and it's happening, tell, baby. Tell and keep telling. Keep telling and keep telling. Keep telling. Keep telling. Well, you guys know what? That's it for me. I want to leave you with Harris County. Harris County, attention, attention. Harris County. If you don't want to get the vaccine, please wear a mask. These are the numbers, Harris County. Harris County, look at the number of deaths. Look at Texas overall. Harris County, confirmed deaths. We can do better, guys. It's your business if you don't want to get the vaccine. It's your business. That's fine. But please, please, for the sake of others, take care of yourself. Take care of yourself and take care of others. It's not just about you. It's a ripple effect. It's a ripple effect. It doesn't matter. I don't care if you don't believe in COVID. I could care less. But do you want to have a job and have an income? We got to protect one another. Am I my brother's keeper? You darn Skippy, you is. All right, you guys. I love you for real. I really do. I love you for real, and I pray for you. I pray for you. One of my sayings, I didn't have a chance to put it up, but I will give it to you. Every time they say COVID, we say Christ. God bless you. I'll see you next week, same time, same place. I love you for real.
Real Talk with Lydia is managed and produced by Get Real and Get Healed Ministries. For more information, please log on to www.getrealandgethealed.com. For ministry invitations, business opportunities, or to be a guest, email therealtruthbetold@hotmail.com. Until next week, be blessed. More importantly, look for a way to be a blessing.